What's good, dude?
Shit, man. Just fucking living quarantine life.
Right on. Dude, so I was just looking at your Instagram and
Yeah.
that painting right there, the skull with the snake on your wall.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was just looking at it. I was like, that's so fucking sick, dude.
Hey,
Like,
thanks, man.
love that thing. What'd you do that on? Is that like a newspaper?
So I did that on the iPad, but
Okay.
I took vintage Japanese newsprint
Yeah.
and just kind of like put that in as the background. So it's
It
like, yeah,
works so great.
it's not as cool because it's not like hand drawn, but for the aesthetic, it was still effective.
I couldn't tell and I thought it fucking looked rad to whatever.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man.
Well, hey, cheers. Nice to fucking meet you, dude.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you drink any beverages or anything, but
Yeah, I got a coffee, but cheers.
so what you been up to, man?
Dude, um, I don't know, man. Like quarantine life is a blur. I feel like, just like cooking, riding my bike, um, you know, drawing here and there, hanging out with my dog, like, dude, honestly, like nothing too exciting. I kind of took advantage of like the opportunity to kind of like shut down for a little bit and just kind
Yeah.
of relax, man.
Well, I saw you did that painting on like a wall somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, dude. So that was wild. I I bike to certain spots. So like I live in Rockville along the Rock Creek Trail, right? And so like all of that trail goes from Lake Needwood all the way to DC. And like all along that trail there's little like split offs that you can find like hiking paths and little cool spots. So like I found this little like pavilion out in the woods, and it was kind of like my secret spot for a little bit. And I went there one day, with like plans to paint. I'm like, all right, like this is a cool little hidden spot. Like I can fucking paint, a wall here if I want to. And I go there, and there's this like random lady playing the flute, and you know, um, just kind of like cruise up, and I sit there for a second. She has no idea I'm there, and I'm like, fuck, like, how am I gonna paint this wall? Like, I don't know if she's cool, like, and so I just kind of like sit there for a second and listen to her like play the flute, and then I'm like, all right, well, I have to go talk to her, and so I was just like, hey, do you live here? Because there's like a house like near it or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I kind of like live through the woods or whatever. And I was like, do you mind if I hang out while you're playing the flute? And I was like, and I just told her, I was like, I'm gonna paint that wall. Is that okay with you? And she was like, she's Russian. She's like, you got to slow down your English, dude. And I was like, I'm gonna paint that wall. And she was like, I don't care, whatever. So like, I just like got to like hang out and paint this wall while she was like playing the flute. And it was like, it was pretty cool. Like, I'm like mid painting. She's playing like the Lion King soundtrack. It was like, it was rad, man. It was like, it was a cool like quarantine experience for sure.
It's definitely an experience you wouldn't have had if you were just tatting at the shop, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything, like, I feel like everything feels kind of like a blur right now, but everything kind of feels surreal. Yeah, because like you have like experiences like that, or it's just like nothing really feels like real life right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like just the for most people, I feel like tattooers, especially if not, I mean, not that everybody doesn't work, but you're just on this nonstop cycle, man. You get you just work and you work and you work and you work, and it's like, yeah, you have like a weekend or whatever, but it's always like this rhythm of like getting back to work or just getting through another new project or whatever. Um, and then when all that just like stops for a long duration, it's kind of like figuring out
Yeah.
you're gonna do at that time, and like there is no real rhythm to anything unless you kind of make it.
Yeah. Because, we get so used to that rhythm. That rhythm becomes like our whole identity. You know what I mean? We take pride in that rhythm. We get like
Yeah,
validation from that rhythm. Like we're used to like, a little bit of time, to decompress in between posts and getting like validation to, like watching the likes and stuff like that. So that like, when all of a sudden that like avenue shuts off for us, it's like, that's confusing. So it's like, how do we validate our existence now? You got to start like it's I feel like we've all kind of had to learn how to take a deep breath and like, examine different perspectives, stop and, like, like, just smell the flowers, I guess.
yeah. I mean, but everybody is wild, and like we're all going through this together, but everybody's experiencing it really differently. Like I just went to get some beers from the liquor store the other day, and I was like, these guys are probably fucking killing it. The liquor store never closed. Like this dude's business is booming. Well, like we are in a situation where our fucking jobs just like boop, and we're figuring that out for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like there are some people that are profiting off of this, and or maybe found some other avenue that they wouldn't have explored, you know what I mean, if they were just in that regular work rhythm. Like it could be a lot of different things for a lot of different people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I've definitely appreciated the, like the opportunity to like stop and breathe for a little bit. You know, like I feel like we take for granted, like just being able to, like examine stuff from like different perspectives. And it's like, yeah, we get caught up like as tattoo artists. It's like it's fun what we do, but like, the amount of stress and the amount of like energy we have to put into our job like consumes us. You know what I mean? So it's like you forget that there's like other aspects of life, and this has given me like a chance to kind of like, I don't know, like I don't know if this, like this is probably the first time I think I've been able to enjoy spring since I was like a kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm so used to the workforce and just like being like nonstop that I was like, oh yeah, fucking spring is cool, man. Like I've gotten out there in nature, just like riding my bike every day, and dude, it's surreal. That's been like my sanity, just like getting out there in the woods and stuff.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying though about kind of like that hustle being your identity a little bit. Like you're stoked for the grind in a way because it
Yeah,
builds you, you know what I mean? You're like, let's get on it. Um, but yeah, when that stops and that's like all you know, it's like, okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah. Your identity, like all of our identities, kind of like this, like as tattoo artists, kind of like just like dissipated, like right before our eyes. It's like, all right, so like, how do we get that validation? So like, because I feel like as tattoo artists, we're so used to getting that validation, just like on a normal regimen that like we crave it. So you see like tattoo artists like posting up artwork or like posting up old tattoos or like finding like different ways and means to do that, that like like you explore those options and you just start like, I don't know, you just start looking at things differently.
yeah, I was having a good chat with a buddy the other day about like um how much that shit just doesn't matter though, you know? Like in the scope of things, like how many shitty tattooers you've seen that get mad love on the internet and how many great ones fucking get none, and
Yeah.
like you can't like get too tied to whatever your social media standings are. Because what if that fucking platform went away tomorrow? Like you can't be connected with your identity on that thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not you. It doesn't make you any better. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're any less of a person or more of a friend or a parent or child or you know what I mean? It doesn't define you. You know what I mean? But right now, because it is such a thing, and some people do have a large outreach with the platform.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, you can get wrapped up into that. But if it just like went away,
Yeah.
then who are you? Yeah.
Yeah, and it did, and I think we all just kind of had to learn how to like redefine our identities. Not just tattoo artists, but like like people in general. It's like who are we? What's important to us? How do we survive? You know, like um, like mentally, spiritually, without like the validation that we become so accustomed to.
If you just like made a great piece of art and didn't show it to anybody,
Yeah,
would you still feel good about it? Like
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like I would like to think that like that I would, but you
like if
know,
you just painted a fucking Mona Lisa in a cave and you died in there and it just like never got seen, is it still relevant because you were in there and you enjoyed the experience of painting it? If you're enjoying it, if it's like not your long term goal just to like get validated at the end, if you're more focused on the finish line than you are the process
yeah,
or anything
dude,
of that nature.
that's a great fucking question. Because it's like I don't think that I don't think that it would. Like I think that we all kind of need like ego drives us. You know what I mean? Ego is like a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want it to get too strong. You want to keep it in check. But like ego is what like feeds our fire. So it's like we do crave the validation of others. We just like have to keep it in check because I don't think I would want to create art if it wasn't for my ego. Like um as as weird and shallow as it sounds, that's kind of what's given me like purpose and meaning in my life. That's my validation. It's like I have something unique to give the world via art, but like I only know that if people tell me that, or if people show me that. Um, so yeah, dude, that's an interesting question. I don't like. I think there would be definitely a hell of a lot less artists if like we only did art in secret.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to think I would still do it, like I want to believe that if there was no social media or like way to kind of show off everything you do and get some kind of immediate feedback that I'd still want to be doing it. Um and I believe that in the process of doing things and learning by fucking things up, I actually enjoy that process a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And dude, I think we would. We just wouldn't. There there'd be a part missing. We wouldn't push ourselves as hard. Because dude, at the end of the day, like we're still primal. Like we're doing it for recognition to like prove our worth. You know what I
but
mean?
on the flip side of that, so if we like went back in time and so our goal wasn't like validation, it was survival. So like dudes that were like commissioned by the church to make some grand piece of art and only like a couple dudes got that fucking shit and if you were an artist or trying to be an artist that wasn't making it, you were like barely making it in life, period,
Yeah,
not to say that can't be your situation if you're a struggling artist right now, but
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Dude,
but
that still
when
holds
like
true.
there was no like buying things at a store and all kinds of wild, what I mean? It was like
Yeah,
either you're killing it or you better find another fucking job. Like I think there's been different because obviously like if you go back in different time periods, there's art that's probably like what's made now, I feel like is almost uncomparable in some levels of quality. Like the level of competition when it's like survival mode. Yeah, like the oil paintings that come out of certain time periods. You're just like, wow, these guys
Yeah,
were getting
you look at like Renaissance and Baroque periods, and you're like, how the fuck did they do that? You
yeah,
know,
like
like
if you couldn't sit down and just bust out a full color portrait of some dude sitting in a chair across from you, like right now, and
no,
not just that, but it's like you had to fucking mix egg yolks to fucking make your whatever color, and you had to order this shit from some shipment from the fucking thing that takes 3 months to get here. You know what I mean? Like we just go down to Dick Blick's and pick up your fucking paint and
yeah,
go
yeah.
fuck up
No,
somebody's wall.
not even, dude. I do everything on an iPad now. You know, like, dude. You know, so it's funny. You know, like as an artist, you know, you compare yourself to that, and it's like, dude, you're gonna get like imposter syndrome for real. You know, it's like, who am I? Who am I? Like compared to like that kind of real art. It's like, what am I even contributing to the world? You know, like, yeah, dude, I think about that sometimes. Like, dude, I've been to the Vatican and like, you know, like walking down those hallways, it's wild.
Yeah, it's
It
amazing.
humbles you. Like, yeah,
Those were
but
the
like,
dudes getting it. Like if they were like, I need to put food on the fucking table, we gotta grind, we gotta figure this shit out. Those dudes worked their asses off to
yeah,
be the dude who got paid to work on that fucking church.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And dude, you know, like, dude, I have zero formal training in art. You know, like, you know, I'm just like, I'm a sketchbook artist who got an apprenticeship. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I do know what you mean.
so you know, like, I'm just, you know, grateful to like, I guess, live in a world that appreciates, you know, like alternative forms of art. You know, that just like,
Interesting for you to say that though, man, because like I look at your work and I see a very developed style. Like,
yeah,
um, dude, your fucking shit looks like you tattoo of the future. Like, I dig it a lot.
what?
Um,
Yeah,
for real. As soon as this is over, or if we fucking just do some shit and no one ever finds out about it, make some tats. Hook
yeah,
me
man.
up, bro. Um, but yeah, like to say, I mean, that's if art is subjective, you know what I mean? Who's to say that fucking thing, the oil painting that took you 8 years to fucking make, and that thing you laid up on your iPad in 10 minutes, like their value is not necessarily based on time or how you got to the end result. You know what I mean? It's just really okay. What do I think about it? And if I'm getting the art and I like it, then that's just is what it is. Same thing with a tattoo. You know what I mean? Like that's just really between the fucking person who put it on them and if they like it or not.
Yeah, man. You know, like, fortunately, um, yeah, that works out for us. You know, like art being like subjective and all, because like,
It
but
is.
and dude, thanks a lot. You know, that's super flattering to get those kind of compliments. You know, because like you know how hard it is to like it's almost impossible to see your work outside of the box sometimes. So it's
Hmm.
like, you know, it's like we do require like, you know, other people's like, you know, perspective to kind of like, you know, see things sometimes. Because and also like, you know, because of Instagram now, it's like we're exposed to so much talent out there. It's like, dude, we're always comparing out. Dude, there's like anything you try to do, there's somebody a million times better. And it's just like, you know, so we're all trying to just like push, find a unique voice, and like hopefully, you know, like, you know, create like a unique piece of art that, you know, like people value, you know.
I don't know. My long term goal is just to become Mike Dorsey. Like that motherfucker is just like in a room that's very large, painting some giant floor length fucking thing, and he's already done like 3 studies of it. And
Yeah,
like it's like once you get to that like fucking Yoda levitating rocks tat
yeah,
master shit, you know what I mean? Like
we're
one day,
you
but
know
it just takes you sitting here fucking doodling and painting until you fucking die, you know?
yeah, dude, Dorsey's an inspiration for sure because like yeah, he's dude, Yoda's a great analogy because he's just like a dude you can tell like who like kind of doesn't give a fuck about anything except for the art.
Yeah.
You know, and you could tell he takes pride in like the ritual and like
Also, like,
the
if you
knowledge.
notice in a lot of his stuff, man, it seems to be like he's really about just storytelling. And I like that
Yeah.
he does a lot of American stories or just not Oriental or Japanese stories and uses like the Japanese art form to like tell them. He's been doing
Mm,
a lot of really interesting ones lately. One was like a about a doctor who did like a surgery on his own belly, and
yeah.
like it was like a Japanese guy like cutting his
Yeah,
belly
yeah,
open.
yeah,
He was fucking
yeah.
fantastic. But yeah, like he's been doing a bunch of those lately, and it's so wild, dude. I remember one time I had a friend that got side of her neck tattooed, and it was at the Richmond convention by him, and it was a bat, but it had a candle held in its foot, and there was a bunch of bugs like flying around the candle, and the bat was gonna like catch the bugs. And I was like, but that's like a story.
Mm,
It's it's luring the bugs in with the candle to eat them. Like even in the fucking tattoo, he's telling like a little miniature story. Like the dude
yeah.
blows my
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
mind.
He and like yeah, he's really clever. Like he always has like a clever little like and also like is clever and funny way of like expressing his ideas through like Japanese art, you know. We actually like um at the shop I work, like dude, we have tons of his prints like all over the shop. Like, you know, Steve the owner, he's a huge fan. And in my station I have like dude, I love this print. It's like a Silence of the Lambs print, you know, like and you know, people like after it, it takes people after looking at it a little bit to like get what it is because you got to
Yeah.
piece it together because you wouldn't guess it was Silence of the Lambs, but you know, you see the basket, the dog, the lotion, you know, you see the hand tattoos that you know, like what's his name had Buffalo Bill,
Yeah.
and then like all of a sudden you have that moment where you're just like, oh shit, that's fucking Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, and that's like that or that's Mike Dorsey's art. Mike Dorsey.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um well he did one that was I got um this tiger head on my arm by Hunter Spanks when he was tattooing a reed tree. Um and he had a painting from Mike Dorsey, and he had also like casted the frame. It was like this Hanya head at the bottom, like he'd sculpted it and then casted it. I was like, God damn, dude, it's like amazing painting, and he fucking like hand did the frame. It's just fucking that's stuff I look at. I'm like, get it together, guy. You need to fucking step your shit up. Fucking
Yeah,
rookie numbers, pump them up.
yeah. But how old are you, dude?
I will be 30 on the 5th.
Yeah,
For a
dude,
couple weeks, I'll be 30.
yeah, man. Like we got years to like, you know, like get there and master our craft and figure out exactly how we want to master it and what kind of product we we want to have mastered.
I already feel old, dude. I feel like I'm behind the curve. I fucking started tattooing late, man. I didn't like get into it till I was like 25 when I was apprenticing, I guess. So,
Dude, you know, I started apprenticing when I was like 27. I think 27. Yeah,
how old are you now?
35.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
still a young guy in the game.
Yeah, yeah. I
30,
mean,
30
dude,
is young.
so all right, you got a couple years on me, and I definitely envy the guys who get into the game like young.
What do
You
you
know
mean?
what I mean?
Like 18?
Because yeah, 18. Oh my God, because it shapes you so quick, so fast.
Yeah, we
Um,
see some 26-year-old dude that's just like a fucking murder, and you're like, damn
yeah,
it,
yeah.
I
But
missed a window.
also that doesn't mean shit. I have a coworker, Christian, dude. got into like, dude, he had a whole career before he got into tattooing. He like got his PhD in like biochemistry or some shit, and got into like tattooing in his 40s, and then like just like picked it up quick, started crushing. So it's like, everybody kind of has their own process.
Yeah,
And dude, there's some knuckleheads who like start tattooing when they're 18 and like never really give a shit. So it's like, I feel like as long as you give a shit more than the next guy and you're willing to put in the work, you're gonna like, people are gonna notice.
absolutely. So, uh, because I was perusing your Instagram earlier, also, I went back to the first picture that's on your gram, and you're getting tattooed.
Yeah.
You're getting your shin tattooed. I'm about to scroll back to it. Can I ask who was tattooing you, and what
Yeah,
was it?
man. Flax. Do you know
I
who
thought it was
Flax?
Flox.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you get?
All right. So
I didn't
I
want to
got,
assume. I was like, oh, you got some letters? Huh? You get some
yeah,
Flox
I
letters?
got, I have a few tattoos from Flax. I have the one he did on my shin was whiskey. It was like it says whiskey. It was at the Baltimore convention. I was drinking whiskey, so like boom, it just made sense. And then here I got this one from him later at the Baltimore convention.
Right on.
It says "Mama tried." Um,
How long ago was that one?
that was like a year or two after that, and then
So were you tattooing when you got got the
so,
first one from him that's on your Instagram?
yeah, I was apprenticing when I got that first one. So like I liked Flax from the get go. Like before that Baltimore convention, I met him at a DC convention. Like I think when I was like brand new when I started my apprenticeship, and he was still like it was before he was like known for lettering, and he had like an actual like portfolio of like black and gray. Um, and he was like super humble. Like, I went up and I talked to him. I told him I was an apprenticeship. He was like, "Oh, what kind of tattoos do you like?" And he showed me his like portfolio. And then it was like a year after that, he had like a collaboration sketchbook with you remember Boog?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, the lettering dude. He had a collaboration book with him, and then like Flax, started to like become like a famous lettering guy. And like ever since then, whenever I catch him, I'll just like snag a piece from him. Just because like
How many things do you have from him now?
I think just three. Trying to remember what the last one I got from him was, and I forget. Yeah, I don't know. Um, but like but it stuck with me that like he was like cool to me during my apprenticeship, and I don't know. So I'm just like I became a fan of his.
I don't know if it's just because I'm still like a young dude to the game, but like that's one thing where I'm always weirded out when dudes aren't cool to you just because you're like young in it, or maybe you suck at the time,
Yeah,
whatever. And like you always appreciate the dude that like doesn't care and doesn't ask. You know what I mean? He's just like, "Oh, dude, you tattoo? Like, what's up?"
yeah,
And I was
yeah,
like, "Damn, man, why can't everybody just fucking be like that?" You know?
yeah. Because like you know, I feel like there's a lot of people in the game who like have egos or whatever, or like just like maybe fragile constitutions, and they like build these like cool kids clubs or just like cool guy fucking personas. And yeah, like there there's really no need for it.
Well, I think it kind of goes back to like what we were saying earlier. Also, it's like a person's value isn't tied to their art. You know what I mean? Like, dude, just because this guy, like, what if he sucks? He could be the worst fucking tattooer you've ever met. He may by like not be able to fucking draw at all, but he could still be a really fucking nice guy. You know what I mean?
So Yeah, I have a theory on that. So like we're all trying to like cultivate ourselves into like creating a product and creating an experience that people value enough to like come to us, right? And like I feel like some people slide by on selling a product, but have shitty like personalities. Some people slide by on selling an experience, but like maybe aren't as good at the actual art. Um, and so like some people have both. But yeah, I've definitely had experiences where like like when I first started out, it's like you'll like idolize a certain artist, you'll get tattooed by him, and you're like, man, he like punked me.
Mhm.
And I was like, dude, I was fresh, I was green, I didn't know
Yeah.
any different. And like for them, like once you get a few years under your belt, you're like, why'd they act like that? You know what I mean? Because like we all start from the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's weird.
who knows, man? And like the thing I try to keep in the back of my mind is like, dude, like everyone has like a whack day. So like I can't like try to be like, okay, my one experience describes this dude now. Like fuck that guy, you know? But
Mm.
yeah, it's a little more impactful, I think, when you're a young tattooer and like you see some guy you're looking up to and then it's like, fuck off, buddy. And
Yeah, like what they say, don't meet your heroes or whatever.
yeah, that kind
No,
of thing. But
but like, yeah, I'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt. There was one artist though that like me and one of my good friends who also tattoos got tattooed by the same dude back to back. We both like idolized him during our apprenticeships, and like I got tattooed by him the first day, and I like told my friend, I was like, hey man, he's kind of a dick, you know. And then the next day my friend got tattooed by him, and he was like, dude, he's totally a dick. Like I don't know if he had like maybe he had 2 bad days back to back, but like I don't know. There's definitely those like dick mentality guys.
I won't put it in the podcast. But can I ask you who it was?
Yeah, you gonna cut this out?
I'll cut it right out. I have
Yeah.
all the editing power. I'm God on this thing.
uh, it was